on YouTube. My name is Pablo and I'm a car addict. Thank you for spending some of your quality time here with me on this video. It is Saturday morning before the 4th of July weekend, so I'm hoping that there's not as much traffic on my way to work today and I can bring you guys a fun, relaxing, enjoyable driving video. And also I want to hit on a comment that I got that's, I think, a good idea for a video, and that's what was my motivation behind getting this Jeep SRT. And definitely going to talk about that and just bring you guys my perspective. I'm no car expert. I'm just a guy that loves cars, that's had a bunch of cars in my life just for enjoyment and just for the pleasure of driving. Waiting here for this red light to turn, because this is where the bridge comes out of, and there's a bunch of maniacs that turn off of this thing really quickly. But yeah, in short, the motivation for me was pretty easy, and that was that buying an SUV with a big motor V8 is kind of buying, like, the last of a dying breed. It's getting more difficult through the years to find a car manufacturer that still is just shoving a big motor, whether it be a V6 or a V8, into any sort of car. I feel like nowadays everything is either force-induced or going electric. And for me, it was like, how could I replicate my experience of having a V8, right, with a big engine, and that's it, and a very simple car that was going to be enjoyable to drive. And that's how I landed on the SRT. I remember as a kid when the first generation SRT8s came out, I think they were a 6.1 V8. I was driving around at that time in my 2004 Volkswagen R32, which was a 3.2 liter VR6. And I remember this guy in my neighborhood with a black one, with a black first generation SRT. And man, that thing sounded so sick. I remember I would always hear him roar by and I'd be like, damn, that fucking car is dope. And that kind of stuck with me, that stuck with me. So when I had the chance to buy this car, it was during the pandemic, I had the chance to buy this car. I'm like, I wonder if they're still making them. I wonder what the specs are. And I did some research and I was like, damn, still just a 6.4 liter V8 in a comfortable car. The specs were good. It was like 4.8 seconds 0 to 60. I was like, this is the one, let me try it. And that factor right there was my number one motivation behind getting the car. Short and sweet. And like I said, I really think that a car like this you will not be able to find soon, especially with all these things going electric and the whole country's push to go electric and go green and whatever the hell they're doing. Fine, good for the environment, blah blah blah, who knows whatever agenda they have behind it, honestly. But when it comes to cars and just owning a really fun, not force-induced big motor V8 in a car, this is a great option. It's a great option. Like I've said before, it's not gonna be good on gas. That's just kind of one of the things you have to understand going into a car like this. But otherwise, I really think that these cars will hold their value because of the fact that, it's a 6.4 liter V8 still in an SUV, in a Jeep, that is not going to be common in the future. So, I plan to hold on to this car as long as possible. I do plan on modifying it, so I really hope, modifying it a little further. So I really hope that I don't mess it up like I did my other cars that just never ran right after modifying them. But yeah, that was my motivation, guys. That was my primary motivation. My secondary motivation was the space and the comfort. I'm a 36-year-old guy. By no means do I feel old. By no means am I having pains that are uncomfortable. But you know, I've had my fair share of like smaller coupes and sedans and all that stuff, and while they're cool and they handle, you know, really nice McLaren up there, sick. You know, there's just something about, for me right now at this point in my life, there's something about getting into a big comfortable car that is fast, rides well, handles well, that was really alluring. So I just really felt inclined to, you know, this kind of car. I didn't want to spend a crazy amount of money on it. I didn't want to, you know, get a Trackhawk that was like 100K plus. Didn't want to get a Cayenne GTS that's like, you know, 120K plus. So for me, this car fit perfectly into my budget and into my wants and into my needs, let's call them. Yeah. And also another motivating factor, this is, you know, motivating factor number 3, is that there's a lot of mods available for the car. And there's a lot of Mopar guys that go crazy, you know, modifying these cars, doing blowers and, you know, any other sort of engine modification. And I'm like, okay, cool. I could get, you know, an old school V8 still. I could be comfortable while I'm driving it. And I could also modify it if I want to. And to anybody who's new to the channel, this is a 2020 Jeep SRT. Right now it has 11,300 miles. I do have some mods, which I plan on making a video in terms of the mods that I have, cost and time that was involved in installing them. I have a cold air intake, I have a throttle body, I have a chip tune, long tube headers, to a mid pipe, to a catback. And I do plan on doing some other mods. I just ordered last night a billet technology oil catch can. That's gonna come in a couple of weeks, so I plan on installing that maybe in a month and a half or so. And ultimately I do want to do a stroker kit with a larger cam. So I definitely like that choppy American sound. I hope my wife and my neighbors don't get too pissed off, but you know, it is what it is. This hobby keeps me a little bit sane, as I'm sure it does some of you other guys. And I'm gonna shut up so I can get a nice pull here. That traffic even better. So yeah, that was you know, those factors are my motivating points in order to get this car when I got it. And I mean, like I've said on plenty of videos, I regret nothing. I have no regret in terms of buying and owning and loving this car. It really gives me a lot of pleasure to drive it. It gives me a lot of joy, especially on road trips. All right, come on. This thing handles. Literally, I can take it into, I'm doing 50 miles an hour right now. Should be able to get a little pull up here too. Let's see. gonna get to work in like 5 minutes today. So yeah, any of you guys that are like against the fence or doing research on these cars, you know, just understand, guys, that like, you know, this thing is one of the last cars you can buy with this kind of setup, like in an SUV at least, because, you know, I haven't researched about the Chargers, Challengers. I think I saw a concept car of either a Charger or Challenger going electric, which is, I don't know, man, that's crazy to me. It's, you know, I don't care if they install some sort of like sound system to make you hear exhaust notes and all that stuff, kind of like the M3 did a couple of years ago, but this is not going to be the same. You know, these cars, I really think once things go electric and no more of these cars get made, I mean, either, you know, the car's value is going to stay the same or go up. That's just how it is. You know, that's what I see happening in a couple of years, is things are primarily electric. You cannot get an old school muscle style car, and all these cars are going to just shoot up in value. That's just kind of what I think is going to happen. So, you know, I'm happy that I made the choice to get this car when I did. And, you know, it sucks because the car culture is going to be different. It's going to be a bunch of guys driving electric cars that just literally stomp on the gas and doing 0 to 60 in like 2.5 seconds, which is awesome, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Like, I drove a Tesla one time, and it's very cool, you know, very advanced technology and self-driving and all that, but I'm like, has no soul, man. You know, these things have no soul. Whereas these cars, from the second that you fucking, you know, cold started, you're like, oh, it sounds so nice. And it's those little things for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you guys, that keep you driving and keep you in these cars and keep you modifying them and just keep you loving them. And, you know, driving for me, as stressful as it is sometimes in New York City, it's also an escape. You know, we can get in the car, just be with ourselves, put some music on, be with the car, drive the car, feel it. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about, literally. Because you know, life is so hectic sometimes that these little moments that you can separate for yourself are really what keeps you mentally healthy. And if not for, in part in my life, if not for driving and for cars, I would be way bigger of a shit show than I already am. So I just appreciate it. You know, I appreciate it, and I hope that you guys, you know, just drop me some comments in terms of your driving experiences, which cars you've owned that you love the most, that really gave you a lot of pleasure to drive. For me, at least, this car ranks really high in terms of the cars that I've owned and driving pleasure. It's, for me, I think it would be this car. I can't rank them right now because I just love them all in their different ways. For me, it would definitely be this car, the 2020 Jeep SRT, my 2003 BMW M5, which I'm always talking about on this channel. My Volkswagen R32 was a lot of fun, all-wheel drive. I can put that car through anything, same thing as this car. And after that, I would say I owned the 1999 BMW M Coupe, the little clown shoe car, and that thing was a lot of fun too. Not super powerful, not crazy, but damn, that thing handled. BMW did an awesome job with that car. And yeah, I think that there's something very special about driving. I don't know, I guess it's just the, you know, relationship between man and machine. And I definitely am one of those guys that just will sometimes just go for a drive and chill, whether it's around the streets or maybe on the highway, like to and from work. I should drive to work more often, just that, you know, the traffic sucks. It's Saturday today, so I got here pretty quick. But yeah, man, I love to drive. That's why I'm a car addict and a driving addict. Yeah, so if you guys found this video enjoyable, if you would please smash up those like buttons. Helps the YouTube algorithm, you know, show this video to other guys that would enjoy it and would get some value out of it. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. That also helps the algorithm shoot out the videos to other guys that have the same interests. You know, guys or girls, because I'm sure there's girl car fanatics out there too. So definitely want to be all inclusive in that sense. But yeah, man, smash up those like buttons. I appreciate you guys spending some of your quality time here with me on this video. I will bring out some more videos probably after the holiday weekend. It's 4th of July weekend, so I will be spending the weekend away with my wife on a little road trip, hoping to get some driving videos as well on that trip. But definitely can't go as crazy with her in the car, even though she drives like a fucking maniac. But she gets scared when I drive like a maniac. That's the irony there. And any comments, guys, any constructive criticisms, any questions, any video ideas that you guys might have, let me know. I'm happy to see the comments and make some more videos, and I appreciate you guys for giving me ideas and tuning in and, you know, and interacting with me. It brings me a lot of pleasure. So all right, guys, I will see you guys in another video. Have a good, safe, and healthy 4th of July holiday, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.